And as we watch the teams, Liam Sheedy in the parade, there's a great atmosphere in Croke Park, which I guess you would expect for an All-Ireland hurling semi-final, but you can actually feel it here in the studio beginning to ratchet up.
Yeah, you can. You know, everyone, I think, the neutrals, the Galway supporters, Tip supporters, everyone looking forward to, you know, what we expect will be a really rip-roaring contest. And, you know, it is finely poised. I mean, the two attacking forces in both squads have the potential to do damage. They definitely can inflict damage if given the right ball. But ultimately, I think Tipperary defensively, I think they're further down the road. I think if I was managing Tipperary today, I'd be looking for that early goal to try and unhinge that backline, because the backline, I think, you know, you need to put doubts into the Galway backline, and I think if they were to do that, I think they could push on. And I just think maybe, you know, as I said, Tipperary might be that bit further down the line. As I said, and I think Ger makes a very valid point. Eamon O'Shea has had a huge impact on all of these players, and I think they certainly won't want his last match to be sending him back to Salt Hill there and losing to a Galway side. So a lot at stake. I think we're in for a great contest, but tip the shade in my view.
All right, lads. Well, there's no real point in asking you for predictions because they know who you want to win. Cyril, I know, and of course, Gerard Nan's a former Galway manager as well. So
it's 3-1 here.
I think we'll just take this one as read.
Yeah.
Okay, it is time then to hand over to our commentary team for today's big game, Michael Dignan and Marty Morrissey.
Thank you very much, Michael. Well, no matter where you are in the world on New Year's Eve, there's always an expectation that there will be fireworks that will light up the night sky. In the GA world, when neighbouring parishes or counties meet in big championship matches, the fireworks is again anticipated, but this time the sparks are usually on the football or hurling fields of Ireland and not in the nighttime sky. When Galway and Tipperary meet, there's usually some drama, some story, some hero, like the great Noel Lane, who broke Tipperary hearts back in the 1987 and 88 championship clashes. Do you remember the 1989 All-Ireland semi-final, which was dominated by what became known as the Tony Keady affair, after one of Ireland's greatest centre-backs was banned for 12 months after playing illegally in New York? The subsequent game was full of rancour and indeed bad mind. It's hard to believe that Galway haven't beaten Tipperary in the championship since 2005. And of course, what about last year, when Galway were almost home and hosed in Thurles, leading by 6 points with 20 minutes to go, when Tipperary rose to the occasion and scored 2 goals and 10 points in those last 20 minutes to win by 9. A certain Seamus Callanan scored 3 goals and 8 points that evening. Rivalry, intense rivalry, can inspire hurlers to extraordinary levels of performance. So too can sheer courage and character. It is absolutely wonderful and inspirational to see Noel McGrath named in the Tipperary squad this afternoon. 4 months after he was diagnosed and underwent surgery for testicular cancer, this young 24-year-old man is back playing for his county. Indeed, whether he plays or not today is irrelevant. The fact that he's here, good enough to be part of Eamon O'Shea's panel, is a remarkable achievement. So from all of us who've been touched in some way by cancer, either through family or friends, to understand what Noel McGrath's experience at such a young age and come through is just simply heroic. So Noel McGrath, we salute you and welcome back to Croke Park. So will it be Eamon O'Shea in his 3rd year in charge of Tipperary, or indeed Anthony Cunningham? Michael Dignan is with me. Who do you fancy, Michael Dignan?
I fancy Tipperary, but it's only a narrow vote. I think both forward lines have been on fire this summer, but I think, like the lads talked about in the studio, a lot of people saying that maybe the tip backs are that bit more experienced, a bit more battle-hardened. Galway against Cork, they bamboozled them with the rotation in their forward line early on. Their movement, positional changes. Cathal Mannion played most of the game at centre forward. He scored 7 from play. Cyril Donlan was moving into the corner out to the wing. Joe Canning was in and out. Jonathan Glynn started wing forward last year in Thurles. Marty, you'll remember, he did huge damage at full forward, and really the winning of the game was the fact he played so well, because Pádraig Maher was moved from full back out to centre back, and James Barry went back in full back where they remain today. But when Maher went to centre back, he dominated the game, and he single-handedly drove Tip back into that game. So look, let's hope it's the game we're expecting, and I think Tipperary will do it.
It's Galway's first All-Ireland since 2012. It's Tipperary's 7th appearance in 8 years in an All-Ireland semi-final. Massive crowd at Croke Park as we stand in pause for our national anthem. 1993 that Galway and Tipperary have met in an All-Ireland semi-final. They've had 6 championship clashes since then, 3 in All-Ireland quarter-finals, 1 All-Ireland final and 2 qualifiers. Barry Kelly is the man in charge, a man who's refereed 4 All-Ireland finals, including last year's drawn game. The second of the All-Ireland Hurling Championship semi-finals is underway. Tipperary won the toss, decided to play from right to left, which gives them, we think, slight wind advantage, and we only say we think because it's a swirling breeze. Here comes John Hanbury, delivering the ball long, up towards Conor Whelan. Tipperary, under a little bit of pressure in the early stages, but coming clear, waiting for it, patiently. His right corner back, Cathal Barrett. Just outside now his own 65-metre line. Laying it off, Barra's Shane McGrath, pumping it in high. Testing ball, Seamus Callanan underneath it, the sticks are flying, held out, goal! One chance, first ball, first goal. Eamon O'Shea, the blood is pumping, the adrenaline rushes on, the Premier County mean business.
Yeah, Martin, this is something that Tipperary would have been looking at. A one-on-one with Callanan. Pádraig Mannion got under the ball, but just look at the experience of Callanan. He just got inside him. Great catch, shortened up the grip, and a brilliant finish. And all the while this was happening, Aidan Hart was on the ground with a head injury. You know, the rule is there, maybe you should stop the play. You can see him going off there now, bleeding heavily for the head. But there he is now. The referee kept the game going. It was an accidental collision with Niall O'Mara, but he was on the ground all the time when that play went on. And maybe that'll be a little bit controversial that the play should have been stopped to treat that injury.
Aidan Hart from Gort, son of Josie Hart, great Galway man, getting some medical attention from Dr. Dan Murphy. Blood substitution required. Still the medical attention goes on along the sideline. The ball is put down. What a start by Tipperary. Cyril Donnelly's effort is blocked down. Beautifully blocked down by this man. As he goes forward once again, it's Cathal Barrett. Oh, whoa! My word. What a collision between the 2 number 2s, Johnny Cohen and Cathal Barrett, and you can see that John O'Dwyer is seriously concerned about his corner back. Look at this again. Straight collision here. 2 heads colliding, and Cathal Barrett went down. Hefty collision.
It was, Martin. He seemed to be maybe unconscious there briefly. It certainly didn't look to be any movement, but he's back. He's on his back now, and the medical attention in. 2 very heavy hits. The first one with Aidan Hart, completely accidental with Niall O'Mara, and you saw Johnny Cohen came out there, and 2 fast men colliding at that pace, and Barrett is certainly hurt, but he's moving there now, thankfully.
Only 22 years of age since last month, as Eamon O'Shea, his manager, has a brief consultation with his backroom team. Young Cathal Barrett from Holy Cross Ballycal played Tip Minors in 2010 in his 9th championship appearance today, and indeed already he's settled well in, and we're indeed delighted after that hefty collision to see Cathal is okay. He's coming over to get some further medical attention and just to make sure that he's 100% right, which is only right and proper indeed.
Absolutely, one of the finds of the year last year. Very confident player, great hurling cornerback, and you can see where he was down the field there. But Callanan now with an easy free to start after his great goal.
He scored 3 goals and 8 points in that qualifier last year in that amazing comeback. And Seamus Callanan gets his first point of the match from a free. There's only 1-1 on the scoreboard in Croke Park and on your television screens wherever you're watching in Ireland or around the world. What a cracking goal by Seamus Callanan. It's pleased his manager. Ball over at the far side. Paddy Maher is over there. You can see that Paddy Stapleton is the blood substitution, in case you've just spotted number 26. He's in for the injured Cathal Barrett momentarily. Meanwhile, it's David Burke from the St. Thomas's Club. Won an All-Ireland club medal here a few seasons ago. It's half blocked, half stopped. It comes as James Barrett. From upper touch from back. Good hurler. Played previously in the half back up. Trying to get there is Dai Burke, knocking it away from Shane McGrath. Good work here by the Turlough Moore man. There's nowhere to go as Tipperary surrounded, trying to flick it away. Succeeding. Carries Brendan Maher, the captain from Borriselli, stepping aside, laying it off quickly. That's nice hands. Is the finish just as good? Not quite. Just to the right of the post, off the stick of John Bubbles O'Dwyer.
Yeah, Marty, beautiful piece of skill there by Brendan Maher. flicked it off the hurl straight to John Dwyer. He'll be disappointed. And there's Aidan Hart back on wearing number 27, but I think John Dwyer will be disappointed. But Marty, both teams lining up in an orthodox way, no sweepers and very wide open, both forward lines with loads of room on the ball. So look, it should be a right open game now.
Here comes Andy Smith. His work rate phenomenal from the middle of the field, dropping this in. Darren Gleeson, good hands. Like a magnet, the sliotar flew into his grasp just under the crossbar. He sent it back out to Andy Smith, who sent in the original ball, trying to get ahead of Joe Canning. Was James Barry. The ball breaks free first, Conor Whelan. Referee's whistle is blown. There is a fantastic atmosphere, I have to say, for this All-Ireland semi-final. They're anticipating 60,000, but you can hardly hear the referee's whistle.
No, massive atmosphere. Just noting that Conor Whelan, who had such a great impact in his first game the last day, he's in a corner forward, and Jason Flynn out on the wing. That's the only change. Jonathan Glynn on the left wing and Cathal Mannion inside him. And here's Joe now. Galway need this score to settle him. It's a nice handy one for Joe as well.
Very handy one indeed. Total score so far in the championship, 4 goals and 37 points. And Galway are up and running in Croke Park after almost 6 minutes of play. That early goal will surely have unsettled his team, Anthony Cunningham, as we saw just a quick shot of him there. A little bit anxious along the sideline. Meanwhile, it's Tipperary sending the ball forward. Dangerous ball again. It's that man, Seamus Callan. Good block down, great block down by Johnny Coe. But Callan is powerful. He's heading towards goal. Great hook again by Johnny Coe. Wonderful play by Galway. Listen to the roar. David Burke. This is the sort of hurling championship we were hoping for. Ball down first, Joe Canning, and again it's James Barry. Oh, there's a high challenge there, which caught James Barry on the side of the face. Paddy Marr didn't like it. Joe Canning acknowledged it immediately. To James Barry's great credit, he's up off his knees immediately, but Barry Kelly had indeed blown the whistle.
Yeah, great passage of play. I think Joe's going to get a yellow card. Barry Kelly very decisive there. He flicked across. James Barry has got out in front, and you see there, sportingly, you see there flick in first and then a second one. And he had the ball firmly in his hand. That's missed time by Joe. A man of his skill shouldn't be doing that and hitting him across the face guard like that. But Marty, back to Johnny Cohen. What a brilliant hook there. We talked about JJ Delaney's hook last year in the All-Ireland final. That was a huge one there, because if Callan had got in for another goal so early, Pádraig Mannion's confidence would be shattered. So great play there by Johnny Cohen.
Just to confirm, the Cathal Barrett is back playing a corner back. Paddy Stapleton, number 26, has gone off as we follow the sliotar down towards Joe Canning and company. Canning hitting. One Tipperary man getting by, trying to lay it in for Steve Donlan. Lovely flip by Donlan. He controls it. He's inside the left foot tackle. Surely that's a penalty. What's the referee going to do? He still hasn't decided. But at least half of Galway were roaring for a penalty. But what brilliant skill by Cyril Donlan.
It was a brilliant pass by Canning. I thought Cathal Mannion was in a better position. It has to be a penalty. He's just checking, I think, was it inside? But it's certainly a penalty.
Penalty. Listen to the roar in Croke Park. Can you hear it in Dubai? Can you hear it in New York? Because half of Galway must be roaring over this one. But the stick work, the pass inside, and the hands of Cyril Donlan, superb.
If you just watch it again, just watch where the foul is. He was just checking that the foul was inside, and it was, certainly was a penalty.
Referee is having an exchange of views, I think, with Darren Gleeson.
Yeah, he's just warning him to stay on his line. He's not supposed to leave his line until the ball is struck. So,
well, the drama is unfolding in Croke Park. Seamus Callanan, full forward for Tipperary, scoring the first goal. Here's Canning, brilliantly saved by Darren Gleeson, all-star goalkeeper 2014. 7 years waiting for his chance as a sub to Brendan Cummins, and he produces a penalty save in an All-Ireland semi-final. Back come Galway looking for more, and the ball is wide.
Oh, that's a brilliant save. Marty will see it now again. Joe Canning struck it really well, but Gleeson, he took the right side. Just watch it here now. Moved across, and a brilliant save. Canning went for the open side. He was holding the hurl backhanded, but he got around. See the way he switched his hands and got around for a brilliant save.
Ball is put out past Patrick Bonner-Mann. Galway experiencing 2 sucker punches in the opening 9 minutes. A goal from Seamus Callanan and a penalty save from Darren Gleeson. Getting there first is Cathal Barrett. Comes out first, Johnny Kingley. What a goal he scored in the quarter-final against Cork. Lays it off. There's a chance here. Going for goal. And it's deflected again by Darren Gleeson for his second save. and it was Carl Mannion. He decided, thought about it, will I take my point, will I go for goal? And Gleeson from Portroe in North Tipperary saves again.
Yeah, but Marty, Galway are absolutely carving Tipperary wide open. That's a brilliant save again. Mannion was right to go for it. See the great shot, and Gleeson down low to his left, just got a slightest touch. Could have went to the roof of the net, maybe hit him on the wrist, and the room they're creating inside, fast ball in from their backs, tackling hard out the field, and Galway will wonder how are the 3 points down, how they haven't at least levelled up at this stage.
Darren Gleeson is holding his arm because he actually didn't stop it with the boss of the hurley. He actually stopped it with his arm. He's in a bit of pain. Joe Canning taking the subsequent 65. He's looking all right. Not good enough though. Oh, the umpire is actually going for Hawkeye. So we're going to have the first Hawkeye, and you can see the doctor medical attention there required for the goalkeeper after that brilliant save, his second. Barry Kelly indicating officially that Hawkeye is required. So was Joe Canning, 65, over the bar or just outside that far post at the canal end? The answer is Neil.
We were having it all, Martin, the first 10 minutes, one-on-one penalties, Hawkeye, great saves, and brilliant, brilliant atmosphere, as you said earlier, and great intensity from both sets of players. Fantastic start to the game.
Darren Gleeson. His puck outs so vital, as indeed are Colm Cannonan's. This one goes astray as Galway go forward. Floating this one in very high is Jason Flynn. So high, so accurate, and very much over the crossbar and between the posts. Good score.
Yeah, player who's had a fantastic season. That's a great score right out in the middle of the field near the sideline, and Galway deserved that. They're all over Tipperary at the moment, and Tip's still leading by 2 points.
Conor O'Brien got the short puck out, but the referee, Barry Kelly, has blown his whistle. Conor O'Brien is looking for an explanation.
Well, the rule, Marty, actually is the ball only has to travel 13 metres. You can actually go inside the 21 to pick up the ball once it travels 13 metres on the diagonal. So if he's given a free for not being outside the 21, it's actually not correct.
He's actually giving a throw ball.
Yeah, throw in is the rule if it doesn't travel the 13 metres, but you don't have to be outside the 21 once the ball is struck. Oh, there's a frontal challenge again.
Frontal challenge from Paddy Maher. Well, the parameters are being set out rather early in this All-Ireland semi-final, as Paddy Maher came in, or received a hefty challenge from Jonathan Glenn.
Surely should have been a yellow card, but he avoided it.
Ball is breaking free. Gathering it is Patrick Bonner-Maher. Has the time and composure to send it across to see who's available. Chasing after it is Seamus Callanan. Front of the Hogan. Oh, he just hurled this to the right and wide. It would have been a great point. You can see that Pádraig Mannion and Seamus Callanan are getting to know each other a little bit better as well. But Seamus Callanan inaccurate on that particular occasion. Puck out from Colm Callanan. Aim for Jonathan Glenn. Chasing after it, being pursued, being perhaps fouled by Ronan Marr. No free given. Back there as well as Shane McGrath. Jonathan Glenn. Across comes Conor O'Brien from Anacarty. Great little cornerback, delivering it into the middle. Coming forward is Brendan Marr. Look at the hands again, laying it off. Where's James Woodlock? Woodlock, diagonal ball again, over to Seamus Callanan, who's causing Galway serious problems. Going right, going left, and dropping this over the crossbar. It's a goal and 2 points for Seamus Callanan with just 13.5 minutes played.
Yeah, great passage of play there, you're right. Brendan Maher, look at his quick hands again. James Woodlock, and Woodlock picked out then Callanan with a great ball inside, and he is all over Pádraig Mannion at the moment.
James Woodlock, Trojan worker in the middle of the field, lays it off. Again, they're going to aim for Seamus Callanan, but he bypassed Pádraig Mannion, bypassed it. Good covering, however, comes far as Andy Smith. Coming into challenge is Brendan Maher. Andy Smith. Crossfield over towards Shane McGrath underneath it. So too is David Burke. Touched on and out over the sideline. Aidan Hart, in case you've just joined us, is number 27. And he was, of course, wearing number 5, but picked up that early injury, head injury, in the very first exchanges. Sideline cut is a good one. Coming out to meet it is Ronan Marr. Jonathan Glenn had a little chip away. Last man to touch it was from Tipperary, so it's a sideline ball for Galway.
Yeah, that's a huge feature of Galway's players. A quick one out to Joe Canning.
Joe Canning has it the legs. It certainly has. And it has the accuracy. Quick thinking.
It was Joe went out as if he was going to take it, and they took the quick one. But I was just you'd see it here again. David Burke back to Joe. I'm just making the point about the tackling of the Galway forwards. A beautiful piece of skill by Ronan Maher, but it immediately closed down by Jonathan Glynn. And you see it here again. They're tackling like this all year, and it's making a huge difference to the Galway performances.
Shane McGrath delivers it long, but look at Johnny Cohen. Brilliant catch, brilliant hook earlier. He's on his game in that Galway full back line. So too is Conor O'Brien. Not under any great pressure, but gives the ball away. Batted down. There's a chance from Jonathan Grant to Joe Canning, but this one is outside the post. Left and wide.
Joe Canning switched out to centre forward. This is what I was talking about, Marty, this ability to switch positions, but really he should have scored that. But Johnny Cohen here, matched up against Cahill or against Bubbles O'Dwyer last year as well, has done very well in them in the past, and he's had a great start to this game.
Puck out from Darren Gleeson. Just about kept in. Aidan Hart is there. Anticipated a challenge, flicks it into the middle. Waiting for it was David Burke. Goes long, very long. Tipperary defends under a little bit of pressure, but they play it coolly. Comes first, Paddy Marr, delivers it down the middle. Coming forward is Jason Ford. Jason between the 45 and 65, lets fly, and that is over the bar. Good score.
That's a great score, and you know, that's the difference at the moment. Tipperary are taking their scores that little bit easier. Galway with some great possession, but the Tipperary backs showing some great skill. James Barry there, a little flick over to Cahill Barrett, and the hurling ability of these players is fantastic.
Great catch indeed by Jason Flynn, setting up Cyril Donnelly. He's fouled, and it's a free in for Galway, just inside the Tipperary 45-metre line. But again, look at the high fielding we have here in Croke Park this afternoon. Two points to his credit so far. It's Joe Canning going to take this free. Straight between the posts. Not a problem. It's Tipperary 1-3, Galway 4 points. Short puck out again from Darren Gleeson. Breaking ball picked up by Shane McGrath. Whips it into the middle, where Patrick Bonner-Marr is operating. Lays it off as John O'Dwyer, under no pressure. That's over the bar for John Bubbles O'Dwyer, first point in this All-Ireland semi-final. But again, you can see the hands, the thinking of Tipperary so fast.
Very unselfish. Bonner-Marr knows John Bubbles is not going to miss from there, so he unselfishly lays it off to him, and a lovely score.
Patrick Bonner-Marr to Paddy Marr. Not related. Ball down in towards the corner. Twisting and turning is Niall O'Mara, under a little bit of pressure. Still O'Mara. Ball into the middle. Coming forward here. A chance for James Woodlock. Lays it back past Seamus Callanan, who floats it high and floats it between the posts for his third point of the game.
Yeah, I've been really impressed by James Woodlock so far, Marty. He's completely unselfish here again. Gives it to Callanan. He's set up a couple of points for Seamus Callanan now, and maybe that was a slight weakness with James Woodlock earlier in his career. He'd taken shots maybe that weren't on, but you can see him work on that and laying off some fantastic balls so far.
The hard-working Conor O'Brien. Battling with him is Conor Whelan. Ball is cleared, straight down the middle. Niall O'Mara, unable to hold on to it the first time, chases after it, lays it back quickly. As far as John O'Dwyer, gives it into the centre for his captain Brendan Marr. That's a good ball. Whoops, Seamus Callanan just left it behind him. Corey Mannion gathers it. And the referee has blown a whistle for a foul on the cornerback from Ahaska.
But you can see what Tipperary are doing here. They're moving their forwards all over the place, like they did against Kilkenny in the 2010 final. Seamus Callanan will be very disappointed, but they're creating huge space inside. When he picked that ball, it was a complete one-on-one. He could have went around him and a goal was on again. So Seamus Callanan will be very disappointed with his first touch there. Like if you look in there now, Marty, there's only two Tipperary forwards within 60 yards of the goals, and that's what they're trying to do, create those one-on-ones.
Great free by Colin Callanan, and Paddy Marr is underneath it. What a wonderful catch again. And the centre half back from Perlis Sarsfield. His flick out to James Woodlock was just a little bit too strong. Picked up by Andy Smith, who sends it back. and it's dropping a little bit short. Easy ball for Darren Gleeson. Over to the far side. Johnny Cohen is no problem whatsoever to gather this. Nobody within miles of him. He drops it back down. Darren Gleeson is out to meet it with Cyril Donlan, and the last man to touch it seemed to be a Tipperary defender in the eyes of the umpire, and that's going to be a 65.
Yeah, I think Darren made a couple of great saves earlier. A little bit casual here. He just went to flick it up, and Cyril Donlan hit him a good belt of his shoulder, and that is a 65. Just watching Tipperary there, they changed there for a few minutes, brought Bubbles the Wire to wing forward, Bonner to centre forward, and Brendan Martha dropped out into the middle of the field, and that's why Johnny Cohen was loose there. He immediately dropped back into the sweeper role, and I don't think there's any need for Tip to do that today. They're doing well with the orthodox positioning.
Joe Canning with the 65, and with his 4-pointed again. Lar Corbett going to do a little bit of a warm-up there, taking off the top. As again, the short puck out is constantly being used by Tipperary. And Conor O'Brien gives the ball away to Joe Canning. Kieran Bergen trying to challenge him, trying to hook him away. Goes Canning. 13 giving into the centre, but he hit it too strong, and Cyril Donlan was unable to reach it, and it's a sideline cut for Tipperary.
Well, there was a lot of talk about Joe Canning the last day with the wides, but I thought he played very well. He was on the ball a lot. But if you look at this, look at Cathal Mannion inside him here. When he breaks the second tackle, Mannion goes with him. I think if he just threw a hand pass inside there instead of that ball across, Cathal Mannion was straight through on goal.
Kieran Bergen. There's Shane McGrath. Ball was intended for Niall O'Mara, but again, Galway defensively with Johnny Cohen in particular very strong, but he runs out of space. Brendan Maher is there. Ball is flicked up. Ultimately, it comes first Jason Ford. In for Seamus Callanan, who comes out almost first the Galway 45 to gather. Sends it back as he fell, and he plants it between the posts. Seamus Callanan, brilliant point. Great score.
Yeah, Marty, great try. He knew where the space was. He knocked it out for himself, and he's given a masterclass. We saw TJ Reid and Richie Hogan last week. Seamus Callanan is in that league. He's 1-3 from play scored already. He's given an exhibition of full forward play.
Paddy Maher sends this back into the Galway half of the field. Cleverly knocked away by John Hanbury. Far as Irla Tanyan. Down towards Conor Whelan. He scored a goal against Cork. Brilliant hook by Shane McGrath. Showed a little bit too much of the hurley to the Tipperary man. Nice skill by Conor Whelan. Back into the centre. Jason Flynn trying to make a little bit of space. Puts it up high and puts it between the posts. It's his second point of the match. Good play, Galway.
Yeah, and good play by Conor Whelan for such a young player. You know, he didn't panic. Lovely ball out to Jason Flynn, and nice point, and he's very lively since the start of the game as well.
Puck out again from Darren Gleeson. Gathered superbly by Dahi Burke. Turlock Morma laying it up. Pulled on first time. Back into the Galway half of the field. Goes out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Galway. Eamon O'Shea manning the sideline. All-Ireland minor medalist himself back in 1976. All-Ireland under-21 in 1979. One of Ireland's finest coaches.
And Aidan Hart here, Marty, taking this. He's moved back to wing back from playing midfield and wing forward earlier in his career. I think it's been a great move for Galway. A bit like Killian Buckley for Kilkenny. He's very athletic and great hurler, and I think he's really added to that Galway half-back line this year.
Just Seamus Callanan's goal after 36 seconds separating the sides. Perhaps Jonathan Glenn can break down the Tipperary defence, and a vital interception here, but the referee has thrown his whistle. There's a little jersey pull he's indicating, and there's a free in for Galway. The interception by Ronan Maher initially looked superb, but there was a jersey pull which the referee spotted. The free is quickly taken by Joe Canning and over the bar.
And you see Joe here, great catch, and immediately the hand pass over the head. Didn't work out, I think, that time because somebody stepped in, but beautiful vision there again, and David Burke on the overlap.
Puck out from Darren Gleeson, won by Galway on this occasion. Slither going to go out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Tipperary. Despite conceding that goal after 36 seconds, which obviously Galway's cage was rattled, they have very much played a part in this game. Indeed, there I see one of the stars, two of the stars, Tipperary, Glenn Gaynor and John Lahey. Get your thoughts in a moment, Michael, on that. As once again, it's Shane McGrath that's working hard. Gives it to his captain, Brendan Maher, giving it long into the space. It's Tipperary that have it, and Seamus Callanan on the 45-metre line, who's having a game and a half. That's another point, and surely it is time to make a change, because Seamus Callanan could win this All-Ireland semi-final on his own. He's giving Pádraig Mannion a torrid time in this first half.
He is, and Pádraig Mannion has had a very good year up to now, but Callanan's in a different class. But I think I was going to say, outside of that, the rest of the Galway backs doing really well, and after conceding that goal, they've stayed in this game brilliantly, but that is the move that has to be made.
It was an off-the-ball incident involving Cyril Donlan. We'll talk about that in a moment. The Tipperary players are not well pleased. Tipperary man is down on the ground. Meanwhile, it's Carl Mannion. Carl Mannion inside the Tipperary 65-metre line. Needs to give it out. He finds Andy Smith. Andy from way out the field. Looks at the posts at the Davin end and splits them superbly with a score. Good point. James Woodlock is the player that's down injured. Got entangled, involved with Cyril Donlan, and let's just see exactly what happened. Left of your frame. There, it looks like it's a pull across.
Yeah, he got hit straight into the head. If the linesman saw it.
If the linesman saw just indeed what we saw there, and I know it's long range, it's a straight red card. James Woodlock, who's suffered in the past with serious injuries, including a serious leg injury a number of years ago that he suffered in a championship match in Tipperary. Great to see him back. And
the referee he seems to be waiting to have a word with James Woodlock, Barry Kelly, whatever the linesman said. In fairness to Barry Kelly, he didn't see it. But we just had a wide shot of it there, Marty. It was hard to see it.
Let's have a closer look at this again. Left of your screen, Michael.
He just swung back across his back. I can't even see who it was now from there.
Let's see what the referee and the linesman saw. If they saw anything, the referee checking that James Woodlock is okay. He's having a word with James. But really, doesn't seem to be anything else going to be done. And play continues on. And it was off the ball. Ball is pucked out. Picked up here by Niall O'Mara. Quick hands again. Laying it off as Brendan Maher. Gets by several challenges. Pumps it high. But this is going to the right and wide. Scoreline remains the same. Tipperary 1-7. Galway 8 points. 28 minutes gone in this first half. Straight out Paris, Ronan Maher flicks it into the middle to his captain, Brendan Maher. This time, it's looking pretty good from way out the field. The captain scores in Croke Park in this All-Ireland semi-final. It's his first. Much to be cheering about from a Tipperary perspective.
Yeah, fantastic player, Marty. He's played wing-back midfield for Tip and great leader on the field. Normally a great man to set up scores, and he shows his own class there by putting that over from the middle of the field.
Pádraig Maher giving it into the middle, picked up here by Kieran Bergen. Goes long again. Batted away by John Hanbury. Out for Azir Latanya. Floating this one up into the sky. Again, it's battle between Cyril Donlan and Pádraig Maher, but the ball breaks to a Galway man, Carl Mannion, and that's over the bar.
Yeah, that's his first touch. He picks up the breaking ball there. He's moved out the field a little bit. Lovely score, and you'd have to say both sets of forwards doing well. You'd imagine that John Hanbury maybe should be switched on to Seamus Callanan. He's doing very well on Niall O'Mara, but Seamus Callanan is going to town inside. But look at the room he has again here, Marty.
Jason Ford sending this in. This occasion, Pádraig Mannion wins the tussle, sweeps it down. Coming out first is Cathal Barrett. Tenacious play by the right corner back. Given a shoulder over for his Ronan Maher. Did well. Sending it up again towards Seamus Callanan and company. Callanan into the middle. Brendan Maher couldn't quite control it. Picked up instead by Earl Italian into the middle where Jason Flynn is operating around the middle of the field. Trying to skip away from not one but two Tipperary defenders. Ball into space. It's a race for Conor Whelan and Kieran Bergen. Whelan gets there first. The 18-year-old clips the ball into the centre, and it was a lovely ball, but unfortunately Andy Smith just couldn't control it. It was hit too hard, perhaps, and the ball has gone wide.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, Marty. He did hit it too hard. David Burke was outside as well on his own. Maybe just took the wrong option. We've seen that a couple of times. Nice ball inside, just a little bit unlucky there, and Smith had made a massive run from the middle of the field. And nothing in this game, both teams playing really well.
Puck out from Darren Gleeson. Finds Shane McGrath. Put out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Galway. Just a note of Tipperary's 1 goal and 8 points, 1-7 from play. It's impressive, Michael.
Very impressive, and Seamus Callanan with 1-4 of that.
Jonathan Glenn hand passing it in, far as David Burke. Whipping this across over towards Joe Cannon. Controls it with one hand, and over his shoulder the slipper flies. A brilliant point.
Yeah, well, I made a point in the paper this morning about Joe Cannon that, you know, he is the one man. Galway forwards are all very good, all these players, young players, Jason Flynn, Colin Mannion, but he is the man, and he's really shown that leadership today so far. That's 3 frees of 65 and 2 from play now for Joe.
Crowd in Croke Park thoroughly enjoying this Tipperary Galway All-Ireland semi-final. We hope you are as well, wherever you are in the world. Wonderful atmosphere and a great buzz. Dermot Kerwin is the linesman over the far side. Aidan Hart was coming across to take it. And again, Barry Kelly has requested the Galway man to get some medical attention. You can see that cut has opened again. And coming on is David Collins, who is the team captain. So David Collins is on, Aidan Hart is off. We'll see if that's a temporary substitution or a more permanent one.
Yeah, lucky to have a man with David Collins' experience. No more than Paddy Stapleton coming on there for Colin Barrett earlier. Very important in that sort of a situation.
Cover cross comes far as Joe Kelly. Referee has brought his whistle, and he's given a free to Tipperary for the foul on Kieran Bergen.
Yeah, he says he played the ball in there, but look where Joe is now, right half forward. We've seen him at centre forward scoring, now he's at right half. He was at full forward at the start, and this is what Galway are doing so well. Jason Flynn is now at centre forward. Just watch this. Just a little flick on the hurl, and the referee is dead right.
Free for Tipperary.
I think he's after stealing about 6 or 7 yards on this one.
That's what the little booing you might hear there in the background is. Galway supporters not pleased.
The linesman there, he didn't see anything on the off-the-ball incident, and he didn't see that either.
John O'Dwyer hits it, and maybe those extra couple of centimetres helped.
Well, they weren't centimetres, Mark, they were yards, in fairness, and they do make a difference. They've made that free easier for John O'Dwyer, but a lovely strike by him all the same.
John O'Dwyer's second point of the game. Two points between the teams. Joe Canning goes up for it. Coming away with it, however, is James Woodlock. Hand passing it back by Kieran Bergen. In comes Andy Smith. Great run. Putting his body courageously in the line of the swing. And back comes Bergen again. Pulled down by Paddy Maher. Sideline ball for Galway. 4 added minutes. Perhaps being added on. There's another change. It looks like Aidan Hart is back on again, and David Collins is making way. So that blood substitution was a temporary measure.
Marty, some of that hooking and blocking has been fantastic. It's a huge feature of the game. The work rate of both sets of players, and you saw it again there, lads putting their bodies on the line.
John Hanbury from Rahoon Newcastle club in Galway City. It comes out by David Burke from St. Thomas's. And that is a beautiful point. From a great family of hurlers, the Burks and indeed Camogie Stars, in that beautiful area of South Galway called Peterswell. It's Galway 11 points, Tipperary 1-9.
Yeah, and credit Jonathan Glynn there. Beautiful first touch and hand pass all into one movement and put David Burke into space, and he stuck it over the bar. Brilliant score.
4 minutes of additional time in this first half has been announced at least as Tipperary go back into the attack. The sliotar is bobbling all over the place. Perhaps Galway will be inspired by that David Burke point. On his knees is Pádraig Mannion. It's a mad scramble. Ball is breaking out towards Jason Ford. Under a little bit of pressure. Still Ford, twisting, turning. Puts the ball into the middle. Dangerous ball. Coming out with it, however, is David Burke, who's just scored that point. To his shoulder is Cathal Mannion. Away goes Burke. This is Cathal Mannion. Past the 65. Heading towards the 45. Hits the sliotar. High and over the bar. Brilliant play, Galway. Responding, showing character, leadership, spirit, and indeed self-belief.
Well, Marty, I'd pay to come to the match to see that score alone. What a brilliant point by Galway. David Burke, the most consummate hurler you'll ever see, brings the ball up, lays it off to Mannion, and lovely movement, and then a beautiful strike off his left side. That's a fantastic score by Galway.
Level in Croke Park for the very first time in this All-Ireland semi-final. And Galway are going up into the clouds and driving it long, very long, into the Tipperary half of the field. It's Cyril Donlan under putting pressure. James Barry not falling for the jinx left and right. Here's Cyril Donlan in front of the Hogan. It's curling. Will it curl enough? No, it won't. It's well wide.
And Galway, well and all as they're playing. That's about the fourth time I think they took the wrong option. Joe Canning was loose outside there. Quick puck out taken, Marty.
Quick puck out straight down the middle towards Brendan Maher. Sending it towards Niall O'Mara. But Irla Tanya is becoming more involved. Showing a fresh pair of heels to the Tipperary forwards. Driving it diagonally. James Barry is there to sweep up and clean up. Sends it back down into the Galway half of the field. Brendan Maher goes up for it. Ball breaks. John Hanbury knocked away on this occasion by Aidan Hart. Going right in front of the Hogan to try and gather it. Still Aidan Hart flicking it into the middle. Galway playing with a little bit of belief. It's John Hanbury. This is the sort of play we saw against Cork in the quarter-final. Tipperary, Munster champions. 2 games so far in the championship. This is Galway's 6th. Ball is down towards John Hanbury again. The sliotar meters in from the sideline. Picked up almost by Andy Smith. Instead is John Bubbles on the wire. From in front of the Hogan, dropping it in. Colin Callanan doesn't move an inch. Then goes to his right. Sends it back down in front of the Hogan. Aiming at Joe Canning. Ball runs on. Galway have it. This is Jonathan Glenn. Cups it once, hits it the second time, but the ball had gone out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Tipperary. Anthony Cunningham not pleased with the referee, and he's voicing his opinion passionately.
Yeah, I think that was the high ball dropping down there. They felt that Joe Canning was fouled under that, but Joe has it again now anyway.
And it's Canning that's delivering it long. It's 2 against 2 here. One of them is the teenage sensation Conor Whelan. Pulls the brakes, turns right. Is this the lead for Galway before half-time? Yes, it is. Barack Obama might have Tipperary cousins with yes we can, but Galway, they now believe yes we can get to the All-Ireland final. 38 minutes played. Wonderful puck out, gathered by John O'Dwyer. This is the hurling we love. This is passion. This is pride of place. Galway and Tipperary, neighbouring counties, and thank God we've only got the first half played. 38 minutes. John O'Dwyer, look at that for passion.
Yeah, now this is interesting. I agree here with Barry Kelly. He did found the ball on the ground, Andy Smith, but he let the play continue and then called it back, which is the problem here. And it's frustrating the crowd. They don't understand why the free was given. But he did actually touch the ball on the ground maybe 2 or 3 seconds before he picked the ball and when the free was given. But Marty, what a game. And this Galway forward line, we have now Joe Canning right half forward, Jonathan Glynn at centre forward, and Cathal Mannion on the wing, and Jason Burke inside, Jason Flynn inside with Cyril Donlan and Conor Whelan, all in different positions at the start of the game, and it's totally confusing the Tipperary forwards. The Galway crowd booing now because they don't understand what the free was for. Don't like to see this.
So a chance for Tipperary to level the match again. Seamus Callanan. The umpire is going to signal white. Listen to the roar. It's all the way from Salthill and Loughrea and Newey Eamon O'Shea. Concern. Look at Anthony Cunningham dancing a jig along the sideline as his team go into the dressing rooms under the hood and stand here. And what a first half we've had, Michael Dignan.
Absolutely, Marty. We've had everything in it. Brilliant forward play, I think, from both sides. Great defending. We had the one-on-one penalty, brilliant save from Darren Gleeson. So look at fantastic first half, and you can see the passion in both teams. So look at all to play for now, and look, to me, the game of the championship so far, it's been a brilliant first half.
Goal by Seamus Callanan after 36 seconds. The teams level only once, but at half-time, this is the scoreline. Galway 13 points, Tipperary 1-9. We've plenty to talk about, so don't go away. We'll be right back. We've had a cup of tea and a cup of soup because we needed it after that first half, and thoroughly enjoying it, and hopefully you are too as we start the second half. Joe Cannon operating in the half-forward line, takes off, heads towards the 45. 4 Tipperary players around him, half blocked, half hooked, and it comes as James Barry, who clears his line. Straight back down into the Galway half of the field. Just getting in touch with Iarla Tanyan. Going back to gather with his Dahi Burke under severe pressure. Iarla calls. Iarla is hooked, however, but the referee has blown his whistle for a free.
I think he gave it, again, disadvantage rule, you see. I think he gave it for the foul on Dahi Burke before that. Allowed the play to develop, then he was hooked, so there was no advantage accruing, so he gave the free out. An interesting Bonner Maher, Dahi Burke and him neither much in the game, and the same with Niall O'Mara. He's been taken off. Both half hours been very well marshalled in the first half.
Colm Callanan drops this in. Joe Canning gets his fingertips to it. Comes as far as Darren Gleeson, who lays it off quickly and efficiently. As James Woodlock works hard to try and get a little bit of space. Good pressure, great pressure by Cyril Donlan. Put the shackles on James Woodlock.
Brilliant play. Darren Gleeson had time maybe to clear that long, and he gave it out short to Woodlock, and I've mentioned it a few times in the commentary already. That's a huge feature of Galway's play this year, is the tackling of the forwards. It's improved so much.
Joe Canning going to take this sideline cut, and that line,
a handy one for him.
45-metre line. I've seen him do this before, but every time I say it, he misses it. But look at this! This time, we coordinated our words and our action together, because that is a thing of beauty. A sideline cut, a unique skill, unique to our native game, the beautiful game of hurling.
And he cut that in golf terms, left to right. The wind is blowing that way. A beautiful strike. That's what Joe Canning can do. He's having a marvellous game. 2
points between the teams. Who will face Kilkenny on the 6th of September? It's a battle. Bonamar lays it off. Comes up as James Woodlock eventually. Inside is Shane Burke. Woodlock tries to cut it across, and he still can't connect, and the ball is gone wide. Great pressure as David Burke congratulates Dahi Burke with a job well done.
Yeah, super hook there. Again, you know, James Woodlock maybe should have done better. Brendan Maher gave him a nice ball. He should have stuck it over the bar when he had time. He carried it into trouble, and I think Galway definitely have an edge in the middle of the field from the first half. Andrew Smith and David Burke getting through an awful lot of work, and Shane McGrath not on the ball much, and we see James Woodlock getting caught in possession the last 2 times he had the ball.
Colm Callanan was aiming at Jonathan Glenn. Joe Canning comes in to vacuum up. He's between the 45 and 65. He lets fly. The slither is heading down towards Hillsborough, but it's not going between the posts.
No, it's not, but you'd have to say Galway, you know, well on top. Does not on the scoreboard, only 2 points up, but they have to take advantage of these chances.
Tipperary bench there, Noel McGrath and company, waiting perhaps for the call. The puck out comes straight to Andy Smith, who continues to work so hard. Ball in is not a great one. Easily dealt with here. Sent back by Cathal Barrett, gathered by John Hanbury, who's improving with every match. Had to use the short grip and just pump it over to the far side. The 2 Connors are battling here. Conor O'Brien of Tipperary, Conor Whelan of Galway. And the linesman indicates that it is a sideline ball for Tipperary. Who got the last touch? Seemed to be Galway. Correct decision by the linesman. In fact, the linesman is John Keenan from Wicklow. His mother-in-law won 40,000 on the spin a wheel with Marty Whelan and Sinead Kennedy last night, so he's a happy man.
He's doing well to be here at all.
He is, absolutely. Here comes Niall O'Mara dropping the ball in. Dangerous ball. Who has it? Condon! Goal! second goal, second chance, and it is once again the Drummond star. Great hands here, one-to-one battle, controlled it, let fly, and he ripped the back of the Galway net.
Yeah, he got the wrong side of Pádraig Mannion. You know, you have to say, a great goal by Callan, but the way Galway are playing, everyone else playing so well. Pádraig Mannion is just having a bad day, and they should have made a change. So he's 2-4 from playing now for Seamus Callan, and single-handedly he's keeping Tipperary in this game.
Ball comes back out for us, Jason Flynn. What a response by Galway. Now that's always a good sign, a great sign of character. They've been rattled twice by 2 goals by Seamus Callan. Beginning of the first half, beginning of the second half, and Galway have responded, much to the delight of Eugene Cloonan and indeed Anthony Cunningham.
Yeah, great score. Jason Flynn missed the Kilkenny game with a broken finger, and you can see the value to the team. He's been outstanding this season as well, along with Cathal Mannion and Joe Canning.
Up goes Dahi Burke. Blocked down. Sides level for the second time, remember, here in Croke Park. This time it's a free for Galway. Barry Kelly spotting the infringement.
Yeah, looking in, Pádraig Mannion still on Seamus Callan. You can imagine John Hanbury, who's a tight sort of a marker. He, as you say, has grown with every game this championship. He's surely worth a switch there with Mannion at this stage, just to take the pressure off him.
Joe Canning's ball is dropping in. Darren Gleeson, well protected by his full back line. They did well, so did Darren Gleeson. The ball comes out far as Cathal Mannion on the 45-metre line. He connects, hurling with slither, and it flies between the posts. It's his 3rd point. Remember Callanan's goal just a few moments ago. Look at the response from Jason Flynn and Cathal Mannion.
Yeah, lovely score. The full forward line named on the programme. Jason Flynn has got 3. Joe's got 2 from play, 3 frees, a 65 a line ball, and Mannion has got 3. Those 3 players on fire, and overall Galway forwards far superior as a unit than the Tipperary forwards.
Ball comes back for Kieran Bergen. Goes for a score down at the Davin end, but the left half back from Killinall will be disappointed. Right off the post and wide. By the way, that's only Tipperary 6 wide of the game. It's exactly the same amount that Galway have registered in this semi-final. Galway come forward again. The umpires are looking all the way. They step out and they say it's wide ball.
That's a
stick of Joe Canning.
That's a couple of Joe's had since half-time. Sorry, Marty, I said Niall O'Mara was gone off. Of course, he's not gone off a few minutes ago. Jason Ford has gone off. And I think that was in my head, that if anyone had to go, maybe it was Niall O'Mara. I thought Jason Ford did quite well in the first half. He scored a point and he was on the ball a few times. And maybe surprisingly to me anyway, he was taken off at half-time.
And indeed scored a point in that first half as well. Here comes Patrick Bonner-Marr under pressure from Joe Canning. Dahi Burke arrives. So too, working hard is Shane McGrath under severe pressure. Coming across to the man who is really troubling Galway, that's Seamus Callan. Referee spotted that Pádraig Mannion was fouling, and he's given a free in to Tipperary.
Yeah, Shane McGrath was late tackle there, Marty, actually out at the sideline. A bit of a chop down, and the ref gave a free where the ball landed. And you know, Galway will be much happier. Tipperary's forwards, as I've said there, they're living on scraps. Bubbles O'Dwyer not in the game to his level. Bonner Maher, Niall O'Mara, Brendan Maher, all quiet, and Shane Burke since half-time, only for Seamus Callan. The rest of their attack not functioning. So you'd imagine Lar Corbett, Noel McGrath. Noel McGrath hasn't had any matches, as you said, Marty. Brilliant recovery from illness. We're all delighted to see him back, but maybe an All-Ireland semi-final is not the place to be reintroducing him.
Seamus Callan, 2 goals and 5 points in this All-Ireland semi-final. Difficult enough angle. He steadies himself, and the umpire is going for the white flag. He's the scorer-in-chief. When you think Jason Ford, Brendan Maher and John Bubbles O'Dwyer are the only other scorers. Ball comes out for Ronan Maher, just 19 years of age, sending the ball in. Trying to get a grasp as Dahi Burke, but it's a chance here for Patrick Bonner-Marr. He shoots. Brilliant save by Callan. Not once but twice. Here's Shane Burke. The ball is bubbling all over the place. Bonner-Marr pulls the trigger again, and Callan saves again. Brilliant goalkeeping. And away comes Callan. Flicks it away. Galway surviving. Keeping the pressure on is Patrick Bonner-Marr. Up for Shane Burke. The ball is sent in. It's high, and it is to the right and wide. Well, drama at the Davin end. We've been talking about Seamus Callanan. Now we have to talk about Colin Callanan. Goalkeeper, superb, with one save, bravely getting behind the sliotar. That was only one of the three. The ball is pucked out as Galway put the pressure on the Tipperary defence, sending it back again. There's a chance here, and a brilliant block down by Pádraig Mannion. Dahi Burke going back to gather it. Iarla Tanyan takes it as Seamus Callanan's shot was blocked down, and Iarla Tanyan puts back the shoulders, the big broad shoulders from the man from Ardrohan. Ball coming down as Tipperary find themselves under pressure. Good work by James Barry, flicking it out and sending it back down into the Galway half of the field. It's breathtaking down here in Croke Park. Here comes Iarla Tanyan, driving it low, straight low, intercepting however is Paddy Maher. Put up the left hand and the left hurley, puts the sliotar on him momentarily, flicks it into the middle. James Woodlock is there, surrounded by Andy Smith. Back outside for Shane McGrath. 1, 2, 3 Galway players around him. In comes Jonathan Glenn. They're chasing everything, these Galway lads. And listen to the roar. Galway are feeling the pulse. They feel that they could make this All-Ireland final.
That is some passage of play. Those saves, like brilliant play. Bonamara should have put it away down Mark. The first shot was lovely height for the goalie. Should have stuck it in the corner, but brilliant play by Colin Callanan. And then down the other end of the field, like we might get a chance to see James Barry went to go for a high ball, and then at the last minute he stayed down and made a brilliant interception. It was a certain goal for Galway if he didn't. Jason Flynn was in it. Great passage of play, and Galway showing massive hunger.
Galway have it. Cathal Mannion. Out far is David Burke. He scored once. He scored twice. He puts Galway 17 points to Tipperary's 2 goals at 10.
Well, he's a brilliant modern midfielder, Marty. On his day, to me, he's the most complete midfielder in the game. He's unbelievable skill, left and right, and a great scorer as well. And he moves the ball so quickly from the middle of the field into the forwards. Class score.
Ball comes down from Iarla Tanyan, knocked down by Cyril Donovan, picked up by Jason Smith. Flynn, he's already scored 3 times in this All-Ireland semi-final, and Jason Flynn sends it wide. That was an opportunity.
That's the easiest chance he had.
Should have been really over the bar.
Should have been over the bar, but Galway forwards going really well.
Tuck out from Darren Gleeson, gathered by Cathal Mannion. Ball into the middle, Jason Flynn giving the ball, quick ball inside for Joe Canning. To his left is Andy Smith. Is it a Portland special? Here comes the rocket. Darren Gleeson on his knees, bats it forward, and Tipperary survive. Out fires Ronan Maher. Ronan Maher delivers it back into the Galway half of the field. Breaking ball, Patrick Bonamara chasing after it, laying it into the centre. Chance for John Bubbles on the wire. He's going for the 3rd goal. Colin Callanan is there to save. He really should have hit the back of the net. John Bubbles on the wire, and Galway survive. Goes over first Jonathan Glenn. This is brilliant hurling. This is what we grew up to love and to treasure and indeed to appreciate. And Galway and Tipperary are giving it everything.
Well, they are, Martin. It's opening up. Like there's still 23 minutes to go. You'd imagine there's going to be more space. But look at this, Joe Canning, first of all, it took a deflection and Darren Gleeson had gone down, so he showed great reflexes to save that. And then on the other end, Bubbles were trying to bat it in, well closed down, straight to the goalie. Plenty of goal chances not being taken on both sides, and you know, the defending, the hook and the blocking, fantastic. It's a great game.
Ball comes out for Cyril Donlan, gone inside, looking for it. Is Cathal Mannion, didn't quite control it. The sliotar was hit too powerfully, picked up by Cathal Barrett, into the centre, far is Kieran Bergen. Holy Cross Ballycal to Killinall, knocked away by John Hanbury. Plenty of Tipperary forwards. One of them is Patrick Bonamara, and he puts it between the posts for his first point in this All-Ireland semi-final.
Yeah, the one thing you're guaranteed with Bonamara is he'll stay going. He never stops running, and lovely first touch there and up and over the bar. Great score and badly needed by Tipperary.
Level for the 4th time. The puck out comes down into the middle. After Patrick Bonamara's point, it's level yet again. Ball is wide.
Well, I think Galway are going to rue maybe some of these. That's David Burke with an easy wide. Joe Canning had a couple. Jason Flynn had one there as well a few minutes ago. Galway have had 4 or 5 easy chances since half-time that they haven't taken.
This is the 27th championship clash between Tipperary and Galway. They first met in 1888. They last met last year. And never, not once, has there been a draw. Perhaps today is the day, as they've been level 4 times. Noel McGrath is warming up, going to do a warm-up. What a response his fellow county men and women would give to see Noel McGrath enter this magnificent arena that we all love and appreciate here at Croke Park. It is a chance here for Iarla Tanyan, inside his own 45-metre line, dropping this in. They're coming forward to gather it. Up goes Paddy Marr. Mighty Paddy from Thurles, laying it out for his Ronan Marr, who spreads the arms wide and lets fly. Big down, oh, great catch. We're seeing it all. John Hanbury over for his Carl Mannion. Carl from the middle of the field, well, from in front of the Hogan stand. And that is an incredible point. Awesome Carl Mannion. We're all on our feet in Croke Park.
Well, Marty, that's a great piece of play. Great catch by John Hanbury. And look at the ball up the wing. Straight up to Cathal Mannion. One look, and that's his 4th point. What a brilliant young player this is. He's having a fantastic year again.
Ball is pucked out and superbly gathered again by Di Burke. Laid on for his Jonathan Glenn. Conor Whelan and Conor O'Brien continue the exchanges, and this time it's a sideline ball for Tipperary.
They're having a great little private battle over there, Conor Whelan and Conor O'Brien. Some, great work.
Well, look who just might be introduced. This, of course, is Lar Corbett warming up with Noel McGrath as Eamon O'Shea looks like he may make a change, particularly in the attack.
Yeah, I think you might see Brendan Maher going to the middle of the field and James Woodlock or Shane McGrath coming out and Lar going inside, a bit of a rejig in the forward line.
Andy Smith and Aidan Hart just got their signals crossed, and with the result it's an easy enough concession of a sideline ball. John O'Dwyer stands over it, looking at options. Shane Burke makes the run. He's the one with the red helmet. This, however, is Dahi Burke. Over far is Pádraig Mannion, brother of Cathal Mannion. Sends it down the wing. Over this side, it's Jason Flynn. Going forward is Cathal Barrett. Tenacious Cathal Barrett. Good ball, almost a good ball inside. Could still work out okay. Ball is flicked inside by Bonner Marr, but the referee has blown his whistle and he's given a free in to Tipperary.
Yeah, I think he's right, Marty. He was allowing a little advantage, but he was definitely fouled before that. And this is going to level up again if we don't get it there in the replay, but he was certainly fouled before that.
58,495 is the official attendance in what has turned out to be so far the game of the hurling championship. We might have mentioned fireworks in our preamble, but we're getting plenty of it here.
Well, look, I think the rivalry between Tip and Galway has been fantastic. Ever since you mentioned the Keady affair back in '88, there's been a huge rivalry between them ever since, and carried on today. But they've produced fantastic games over the last 10 years in particular.
Chance here for Seamus Callanan to tap this over the bar. Here he comes. He takes his point. 2 goals and 7 points. Level for the 5th time. 2-7 for Seamus Callanan. Level for the 5th time in Croke Park. Joseph Cooney is coming on to the team, and going off is Cyril Donlan. And Joseph Cooney, you will recall, scored the goal against Dublin in the drawn match. In fact, so far he scored a goal and a point in this championship journey. Puck out, lands into Tipperary half of the field, picked up by Tipperary captain Brendan Marr. So used to seeing him playing in the half back line. He really got behind this. Great catch again. It's Callanan going for a hat-trick. There it is! Callanan Tipperary beats Callanan Galway. And the Tipperary fans rejoice. What a performance! He scored 3-8 in the qualifier last year. He's 3-7 today.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable, brilliant play first of all by Brendan Maher. What a catch by Seamus Callanan. And look at him in this form. He's probably unmarkable, but I've said it before. You cannot leave Pádraig Mannion on him. That's 3-4 from play now. And when the rest of the Tipperary forwards been well held, it's not. John Hanbury should have been on him, and free in now for Galway. But crazy, what a goal! I don't want to take from Seamus Callanan. He's caught 3 balls. They're all the same type of ball of goal. But surely there should have been a change by now, and if Galway lose this game, I think the finger's going to be pointed at them, Anthony Cunningham, for not making that change.
Well, it's been obvious, really, from about the 38th or 40th second that Galway had a problem there.
I think once he got the second goal, you had to make a change there.
Yeah. Here comes the free for Galway and Joe Canning. And he puts that between the posts.
Yeah, good response by Galway again.
So what will Anthony Cunningham do? As Lar Corbett looks to be ready for Tipperary to be introduced. The puck out from Darren Gleeson. Irlatanian comes forward, knocking it down. Kieran Bergen under pressure here. Good work by John O'Dwyer. Sends it into the middle towards Patrick Bonner-Marr. Dahi Burke is there. So too is Aidan Hart. Trying to get away from Shane Burke. Uses the short grip. Gets it into the middle. Ball comes down. Dangerous ball. Who has it here is Carl Barrett. Lays it off Ferris Paddy Marr. Loses possession to the tenacity of Conor Whelan. Ball comes out for Shane McGrath. Nowhere to go. Tries to hand pass it down. Here comes Conor Whelan. Half chance. And he puts it between the posts for his first point in this All-Ireland semi-final. And again, we've seen since 4 o'clock that when Tipperary hit Galway with a big score, the Galway character is tested and they come through with flying colours. 2 points in response. They need one more to level it for the 6th time. They've been levelled 5 times so far.
Look, huge work again by Conor Whelan. He made the initial tackle, then put it over the bar. And you're right, Marty, the work rate of Galway, really, outside of Seamus Callan, Galway would be out of sight in this game. He's just given a masterclass for Tipperary. But overall, Galway, the better team, but Tipperary being kept in it by Callan.
There's a substitution going to take place. It's Lar Corbett is introduced. And he's coming on instead of Shane McGrath. Hurler of the Year 2010, 34 years of age, in his 62nd championship appearance for his county. 3 times an All-Star. Can he ensure that it's Tipperary that play in the All-Ireland final on the 6th of September? The sideline ball is a short one. Picked up again by Cathal Barrett. Flicking it forward, bypassing Joe Canning, trying to get into the middle. Cross comes Andy Smith. His Portumna clubmate comes in. Joe Canning from in front of the Hogan stand. Let's rip from way out the field, but that ball is wide.
Yeah, great work by Andy Smith. I think a wrong option by Joe there. He was a long way out. She would have been better off to cross it over to Conor Whelan, who was loose on the far wing.
Just 1 point between the teams. 2 former Galway stars along the sideline. Hefty challenge on David Burke, and that's a yellow card on Lar Corbett, who's just arrived on the late bus from Thurles. And he's shown a yellow, and that is a free, unquestionably, for Galway.
Yeah, definitely jumped straight into the back of David Burke, no doubt about that. And some of the puckouts from Darren Gleeson, normally a huge part of Tipperary's game, but you saw the last ball going out over the line there. There was a 2-on-1, a poor puckout, and I think those, Tipperary not as dominant from those short puckouts. Galway were working so hard throughout the field.
It looks like Noel McGrath is going to make an appearance. Free, as you can see, just outside the Galway 65-metre line.
And interesting to see Jason Flynn taking it, not Joe Canning, which, we see Bubbles O'Dwyer taking the real long ones for Tipperary, not Seamus Callan. How will this work out?
Flynn hits it. The umpires have absolutely no doubt, and that is over the bar. They're level for the 6th time in this All-Ireland semi-final.
And that's a great score, Marty, for a young player to draw up a match of this nature. He's fantastic natural hurler and a beautiful score there.
Puck out from Darren Gleeson. Great catch again. This time it's John O'Dwyer. Bubbles trying to get away. Irlatanian. They all fall down. Picked up nicely by Shane McGrath. There's a chance here. James Woodlock, I should say, and that is to the left and wide.
Yeah, I mentioned that in the first half. Not one of his strong points. And Niall O'Mara had made a run inside. If he just flicked it in over the top, there was another goal on. And very poor wide by James Woodlock.
Interestingly, Colm Callanan goes for distance. Again, going back to gather it is Cathal Barrett, but it's Jason Carl Mannion that has it, and that is a free. Should be a free. Dead straight in front of the goals. Now, this to put Galway in front, but this was a long ball. Eventually gathered by Cathal Mannion. Need to work hard for it here.
Yeah, the hurling around the head, Cathal Mannion and Jason Flynn, along with Canning, are really working so hard.
Joe Canning, they're level, 21 points each, 21 to 3-12. Simple tap over score for the Portumna man. 11 minutes.
John Henry has switched in now on Seamus Callanan. So the Pádraig Mannion's gone out in the corner and Shane Burke.
And not to dwell on it, but it really should have been there, as you said, from once the second goal went in.
With all credit to Galway, still managed to keep the nose in front, and as I said, the better team, but down to the last crucial 10 minutes. And Marty, this is where Galway have fallen down over the last couple of years. Against Tipperary last year, against Kilkenny in the replay, down in Tullamore last year as well, and in the Leinster final edition, the last 10 minutes Kilkenny took over. So this is where the big test now is on Galway.
Focusing, concentration, stamina, fitness, self-belief, all the characteristics that make up a victory in the championship. They're all going to be tested now. And here's a testing ball. Bat it down by Seamus Callanan. Here comes Lars. Oh, what a save! Colm Callanan's response was just instinctive, because Lara Corbett pulled the trigger, let fly, and Callanan deflected it away. Brilliant save.
It's a brilliant, brilliant save. Lara just showed the class that he has. Just onto the first ball, he gave away a yellow card already, but it just broke lovely for him. He let fly first time, and that's a super instinctive save by Colm Callanan.
From Kinvara, a young fella that never actually played minor for Galway, but he's 30 years of age, and he's matured and developed over the last number of years. Under-21 goalkeeper indeed when Galway lost the Under-21 All-Ireland final back in 2002 and 2003 against Limerick and Kilkenny. But he's had some wonderful, wonderful saves in this championship journey. Will Colm Callanan get a chance to play in the All-Ireland final, or will it be the man that's taken the 65, Seamus Callanan? This to level the match for the 7th time. And we're heading towards 61 minutes in Croke Park. Seemed to stumble as he was hitting it. The follow-through was good enough.
It's a great finish. He did lose his foot, Martin. He managed to follow through somehow, take an extra step and still strike the ball over the bar.
Now you're going to hear the roar. Noel McGrath from Lockmore Castellani is back. Standing ovation for not just a great hurler, but a hero. Welcome back to Croke Park. Puck out by Colm Callanan. Picked up here by James Woodlock, skipping away from the challenge. The call comes from John Bubbles O'Dwyer, floating it in. John Hanbury, and that's man again, and that surely has to be a penalty as he's pulled down to the ground. What's the referee going to do? What's he going to indicate? He hasn't given any signal. He has now. Had to be. Just had to be a penalty.
Had to be, but Marty, I've seen Seamus Callanan having brilliant games before, but I don't think I've ever seen one player having such an influence in a game. It's just incredible what he's done here today. He scored 3-4 from play, 3 frees, a 65, and now he's won that penalty. And it's like overall, Galway are the better team. They're winning the majority of places out the field. The rest of their forwards are reasonably subdued. You just see it there, great catch, turning for the goals, and John Henry, no choice. It should be a yellow card as well. I don't know if a card was shown.
This was the challenge, no doubt whatsoever that it is a penalty, and John Hanbury couldn't cope with him either.
You see his head got a bad bang into the ground there as well, and that's why he's still down.
And the man that's on the ground, scoring 3 goals, 36 seconds, 39 minutes, 52 minutes. Conor Mahoney is on, by the way, as well. James Woodlock has gone off. Former All-Star hurler, centre-half back. Galway make a change. Andrew Smith has gone off. And coming on is David Collins.
You'd imagine Seamus Callanan normally be the man to take it, but Bubbles O'Dwyer now, maybe because he's been down injured, he might take it. And it's crucial, it's a goal it puts them on the way to an Ireland semi-final. If it's saved, could be Galway.
Well, Colm Callanan has been outstanding, to be honest with you, despite the concession of 3 goals. Now he faces, perhaps, another Callanan, the man who has scored the hat-trick against him. The slither is in the hand. The referee, Barry Kelly.
A few of the Galway lads giving him a bit of advice as well.
So they're told to move away, and it is indeed Seamus Callanan that's going to take this. 6 minutes left in this All-Ireland semi-final. Colin Callanan saved a penalty against Dublin in O'Connor Park, Tullamore. He now has to do it again. Callanan against Callanan, and it's over the bar. Deflected over by the Galway keeper. Galway's hopes and dreams are still alive. Good save by Colin Callanan.
Yeah, he went for power, and Colin Callanan just held his ground, didn't go left to right, and got a touch and put it over the bar.
Greg Lally is coming on. Gortman for Gortman, because Aidan Hart is the player that's making way. And here comes Conor Whelan. Chase by 3 Tipperary boys. Still Conor Whelan. Referee has given a free for the infringement that he spotted. It's a chop down he's indicating, and that's going to be a free for Galway to the right of the post. This to level the match for the 8th time. It's a pulsating, invigorating contest that we've waited since the first Sunday in May when the championship began, or somewhere around there. And we've ended here with this, a truly remarkable contest. Joe Canning takes the responsibility and levels the match for the 7th time. Galway 23 points for the 8th time. Galway 23 points, Tipperary 314. Less than 5 minutes left. Puck out. Breaking ball. Picked up by John O'Dwyer. Stopped in his tracks. Good play by Greg Lally. Clears his line. Picked up here by Ronan Marr. The call comes from this man, Conor O'Mahony. And O'Mahony sends out a signal that he hasn't lost his touch of his form. The man from Newport in North Tipperary puts the Premier County in front by 1.
Yeah, great composure there by Ronan Maher, a young player. And Conor O'Mahony, I don't know when he took the ball last for Tip, but that's his first puck today and straight over the bar, and that takes a bit of doing.
Ball is knocked down for us. Brendan Maher sending it up for Seamus Callanan again. Good hands, great hands indeed, as Galway survive. They chase an equaliser. Be better to do it than this man if he could control it. Brendan Maher, back now in the half-back line, is performing well. Pulled on first time by Jason Flynn. Comes into the centre. John O'Dwyer gets his shot in, but doesn't gain any ground. Gets it back from on his own 65-metre line. Dangerous, dangerous ball. Who gets the last touch? It's gone out of Porrick Mannion for 65.
I think Lara touched that. I think that's a wrong call.
And the Galway players are incensed by that decision. Let's see exactly what happened. Well, that looked, we can't judge it perfectly, but it certainly didn't look like Porrick Mannion touched it.
I'm fairly certain it was Lara.
Wide ball. Referee Barry Kelly overrules Michael Coyle and Seamus O'Brien. Brian Cody waits. Who will he be facing on the 6th of September? 2.5 minutes to go. Level 8 times so far in this championship journey. A game that started at 4 o'clock and is now heading towards half-5. Paddy Maher, wonderful catch. He's hooked, however, magnificently. Here comes Carl Mannion, and that's the equaliser! Mannion has done it again. The movies might have Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise, but Galway have Carl Mannion.
Yeah, but look at the... Porrick Maher made a brilliant catch, but then he stood up to hit the ball. Jonathan Lynn got in a great hook, and Colin Mannion his 5th time from play. And that's a few times Brendan Maher hooked there the last ball. Like, you can't at this level stand up to hit the ball. You have to be driving out the field with it. And man of Porrick Maher's experience surprised there after a brilliant catch, getting caught in possession.
Shane Maloney is the player that's just been introduced for Galway. He's come on for Joseph Cooney. Possession now, so vital. 1.5 minutes left. Conor Maher knocking down for his Noel McGrath. Going left, then going right. In towards that man again. It's Seamus Callanan, and it just won't come up from this time. And Galway have it with Porrick Mannion. No free given, no foul committed. Correct decision by the referee, but the ball is still available. And Galway lift the siege. Listen to the roar. Great catch by Conor O'Brien. laying it in for his Paudie Marr. Back for his Conor O'Brien, who again hits the sliotar back into the Galway half of the field. 2 against 1. Ball is breaking. Who has it? It's Niall O'Mara. Comes for his Noel McGrath, who skips away and puts it between the posts. Is that the winner for Tipperary? 40 seconds left.
Well, that catch by Conor O'Brien was something else. And look at Noel McGrath. There's no place for sentiment in this game out there, but you know, if anybody was to get that, Noel will begrudge him. He's been through a personal journey over the last number of months, and what a fantastic score. And I don't think Galway deserve to lose this either. You know, the old cliche, draw is a fair result, but I do think it is, and will Galway get another chance?
69 minutes and 46 seconds played. Possession here now vital for Galway, in particular if they're going to get an equaliser. James Barry puts it high, but he gives it away. Where's Jason Flynn? Jason in front of the Cusick, lets fly. Where's it going to go? It's going to go between the posts. The sides are level for the 10th time. 70 minutes and 6 seconds played. It's unbelievable. Heart-stopping stuff. Both counties deserve to come back to Croke Park. And so do all of the hurling fans in Ireland and around the world. The puck out is taken. Here comes Iarla Tangen. Head down, lays it off. Grabbing it, however, is David Burke. Gives it back. Chance here for Greg Lally, who gives it plenty of air. Up into the goal, Tipperary half of the field. It's that man again, Cathal Barrett. Farrell's Ronan Marr. Is there a winner in Croke Park? Who wants it more? Who has the nerves? We're nervous up on the 7th floor, never mind the players. Flicking it forward. It's Iarla Tangen from the middle of the field. Drives it in low. Unfortunately, Jonathan Glenn can't control it, but James Barry does. Fortunately for him. Gives it back for his Darren Gleeson. Almost 71 minutes played. Ball is dropped down into the Galway half of the field. Up goes the big hands. The mighty hands of Dahi Burke. Gives it for his Iarla Tangen. And the clock ticks into the 72nd minute. Great ball in towards the corner, grabbing it, and is it going out? It's not gone, it's along the sideline. It's Conor Whelan. Galway, have they got the winner here? There's a chance for Jason Flynn. He hits. It's going across the face of the goal and wide. And oh my God, what a game.
There's 3 minutes of injury time was called there. You were in the middle of, I couldn't interrupt you there in full flow. Still a minute and a half to go, so there's lots of time for someone to get a winner, but what an absolute cracker of a game.
25 points each. 25 points to 316. Gone off to the Tipperary team is Ronan Marr. Coming on is Michael Breen. He scored a point in the Munster final. Named a cornerback. Played at wing back. Ballinar from North Tipperary. Ball skips by them all. Here's Lar. Lar is the man. Lar sends it in, but Lar's shot is blocked. Comes by his Sporting man, who lets fly. 72 minutes approaching fast. Is there a winner in Croke Park? There's a chance here for this man to turn and shoot, and that is gone wayward, and Darren Gleeson will gather it. We're into the last minute. 73 minutes went up on the clock, as Michael Duignan says. The effort is half blocked and out over the sideline, and the clock will tick towards 72 minutes and 20 seconds. Well, Michael Duignan and myself are totally neutral here, but we'd love a replay.
Well, that is, it's some game. Darren Gleeson going to play a ball down the wing at this stage of the game. You know, you'd imagine he would have landed it up as far as he could up the field.
30 seconds left. In comes Corrick Mannion trying to gather it. The ball is on the ground. Picked up here by David Burke. Sends it as Joe Canning. Is he the man? He drives it across the field. Good ball. There's a chance here for the winner. It's Galway's place in the All-Ireland final. Tipperary surely are beaten. Young Shane Maloney has done the magic. The ball is pucked out. Now it's Tipperary's turn. We've just gone over 73 minutes. Is there time for one more effort? One more effort for Tipperary. Gathered by Iarla Tangen. Hits the shoulder. And Galway are in the All-Ireland final. What a match. What a game. The Tipperary team, Munster champions, are beaten with a late winner. Young Shane Maloney will be the hero. Anthony Cunningham will take the plaudits. But Galway are back in the All-Ireland final for the first time since 2012. 10 times they were level. Eamon O'Shea congratulates Anthony Cunningham in unequivocally the game of 2015.
Well, Marty, what a game of hurling. It had absolutely everything. Now, we've been saying all year we're waiting for the championship to liven up. but that is one of the great games. Tipperary players distraught all over the field. Galway absolutely delighted. And Marty, I'd have to say, you know, we were saying maybe a draw would be a fair result, but Galway were the better team overall. Seamus Callan gave an absolute exhibition. He scored 3-9, 3-4 from play. He kept Tipperary in the game. Whereas the Galway forwards, you know, overall they were far more balanced. Jason Flynn 4 points from play, Cathal Mannion 5 points from play, 9 points from play from those two young players, and Joe Dem with 10 points mixed between play and freeze and the great line ball, and Conor Whelan working so hard, and Jonathan Lynn, who didn't score, working so hard. So I'd have to say overall, you know, bitter pill for Tipperary to swallow, but Galway, Anthony Cunningham made a statement after the Leinster final that to be back in our final and that they'd see Kilkenny there. Well, he's true to his word, and he would have come in for criticism for leaving Pádraig Mannion maybe on Callan for so long, but maybe Seamus Callan was unmarkable today. And outside of Callan, Galway won most of the matchups. Fantastic performance, fantastic game, and it was just brilliant to be here to see it.
Seamus Callanan scores 3 goals and 9 points in an All-Ireland semi-final and loses. Remarkable.
Yeah, it is remarkable. And Tipperary threw everything. Lark came on, Noel McGrath came on, scored a great point. But this young player, Shane Maloney, who got the winner, I don't know, Marty, I don't know if you've seen him before. I certainly haven't, and to come on like that and to win an Ireland semi-final, that'll live with him for a long time. But look, Tipperary are going to be disappointed, but it's a Galway Kilkenny final now, repeated the Leinster final, and we look forward to that in 3 weeks' time.
Well, Shane Maloney won 2 minor All-Irelands from Tina Abbey Donairic, and tonight they'll celebrate him, as indeed they will everybody down in Galway, as Galway and Tipperary finish level 10 times, and in the end Galway win 26 points to Tipperary's 316. Let's go down to the sideline to Claire McNamara for some post-match reaction.
Joe Canning, congratulations, a semi-final to remember, and you just got over the line.
Yeah, it was hard fought, you know, especially when Shamey got 3 goals today. You know, it looked every time we were going ahead and ahead, they kept getting goals, and fair play to Shane Maloney, you know, his first day out this year really with the seniors, and you know, had the composure to pop it over and win the match for us.
I suppose that was it. Every time Tip struck at you with a goal, you hit back.
Yeah, I suppose in other years we probably would have maybe lied down, you know, but the young lads in this team, we're still a relatively young team, you know, so it's an extra bonus to get to an All-Ireland final, and you know, it's going to be a big challenge next day.
Is this a sign that this Galway team is growing and building game by game? We see you.
I don't know, we'll have to answer that the next day. If we lose the All-Ireland final, it doesn't really matter how far we've got. Our main goal is to win that game the next day.
In the balance right up until the end, and as you say, Shane Maloney, nerves of steel for that one.
Yeah, Shaney's been around a good while, even though he's still quite young, you know. He was a minor All-Ireland winning captain, and Shaney's a good lad. He's flying this year, and when he got his chance, he took it, and that's what we want from the subs. They're there to finish the game off for us, and they did that today.
I think you had just maybe that small bit of edge in terms of hunger and desire.
Yeah, it's a long time since we beat Tipperary in Championship hurling, so you know, that was a big motivation today.
And you can hear to the crowd, you can hear what it means to the Galway fans.
Sorry?
You can hear what it means to the fans.
Yeah, it's great for all the crowd, you know. That's what it's all about. It's all about the families and all about the supporters, and that's what we do it for, you know.
Now you're final bound and you get to have another crack at Kilkenny, avenge the Leinster final, the 2012 final.
It's just another game, you know. It's an All-Ireland final. There's going to be pressure, but you know, we'll enjoy the build-up to it, and we'll enjoy the day, and hopefully it goes well for us.
Very well done today, Joe.
Cheers, thanks, Phil.
Wonderful, wonderful match that will live in the memory for so long before a crowd of 58,495. This is the full-time score, a game that we'll talk about for years to come. Galway, 26 points. Tipperary, 3 goals and 16.